Welcome, friends and foes, to the first ever Purple Hippo unboxing. I'm Nick, and today I have a very special Nintendo Switch on release date. Had the pre-order for a while, and they even gave me the one with the fancy colors. So, without further ado, let's tear into this box. Alright, so I'm finally getting into the box. And, of course, I got the brand new Switch, so I'm super excited. And the first thing I noticed is how itty-bitty small this thing actually is. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be huge enormous, but I wasn't expecting it to be that small. It was like the size of a 7-inch tablet, maybe? Like, maybe a Kindle Fire or something like that. I mean, when I think back on it, it's not really shocking, but at the moment, it's not what I was expecting. Joy-Cons there, they can be kind of like that. Classic HDMI cable, because you can never have too many of those. Power cable, because, you need electricity. And then there's the grip there. Makes the Joy-Cons more of an actual controller. And these things are a little cool. These little things are cool, actually. They're little, like, shoulder button dongles that slide onto the Joy-Con, kind of like that, you see. And it basically turns each Joy-Con into its own controller and adds shoulder buttons to them. They're pretty neat. The dock for the Switch, if you notice, it's just slides right in there. It's got a couple of USB ports. And this little thing folds down, and right inside on that little box there, you can see it, there's the port for the power, the HDMI out, and another USB cable. So that's pretty cool. Lay them all out here so you can get a decent look at everything. Up here, we got the dock, the system itself. The entire system is just that little tablet. So that's everything that you ever need is all concentrated in there. Alright, so I've gotten a couple hours of game time in with the game Zelda and Breath of the Wild. So far I'm enjoying it. A few things that I've noticed about the Switch, both in handheld mode and in home console mode, is that the controller is a teeny bit uncomfortable in two very different ways. In handheld mode, it's very, very flat. So it feels like you're holding a tablet with a couple of like trigger bumps for your fingers to rest on. But other than that, holding it is a cross between holding a Game Boy Advance and a Kindle Fire is the best way I can describe it. And it's not really comfortable in any major regard. While the Joy-Cons are in the Joy-Con grip, they're not equally uncomfortable. It gives you a lot more to hold on to, but it's rather small. Oh, that's neat. Feels like my hand should naturally be further apart. I can't carry any more mailers. That's an interesting thing. The cool thing about the Joy-Con specifically, though, is that they're not strictly required. You can forego the Joy-Cons are required, but the grip is not. So you can separate the Joy-Cons from the grip and have one in one hand and one in the other hand, not unlike the classic Wiimote Nunchuck combo. So if that was something that was comfortable for you, you may give that a swing and just forego the grip altogether. As for Breath of the Wild itself, I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. It feels a lot like a more modern third-person RPG rather than a classic Zelda game. Right now, I'm supposed to go into this shrine here, so let's go take a look there. I believe that's the current rendition of the dungeons. Down in the bottom next to the mini-map there, I've noticed a thermometer, like a sound meter, a clock, and believe it or not, a weather tracker. None of them have really become super relevant yet, but I have the feeling that they will at some point throughout the game. So that's pretty cool, actually. The plus and minus buttons are kind of in a weird spot. I expect them to be more towards the middle, but they're up in the corners of the controller, and it's kind And a hanky. It'll take a little bit to get used to, but I believe it. I believe that we will. As far as the graphics go, I've really noticed. If I feel that they're on par with the current generation, finally. I mean, the Wii U didn't exactly have terrible graphics, but I think because a lot of people didn't like the specs, they saw that it outputted in 900i or something to that effect, and upscaled it to 1080p. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the Xbox One does that exact same thing. At least the original ones. I'm not so sure about the One S. I'm pretty sure the One S actually has native 1080p at this point and can upscale to 4K. But don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at the specs. I'm perfectly happy with my regular old Xbone. As far as the game goes, well, I mean, the graphics for the console itself are going to get better, as they always tend to throughout the life of the console. So, I mean, but the game's well designed. I'm having more fun with it than I've had with the Zelda game in quite a while. So even if you got to play it on Wii U, I do recommend getting Breath of the Wild, especially if you're a Zelda fan. I've heard a lot of debate as to exactly where in the timeline this game follows. I haven't gotten enough of the storyline to make a call either way, but hey, if you guys have some theories or want to discuss it, leave it in the comments down below. I will see it. As far as the rating goes, I'm going to give the Switch 7 thumbs up. Probably because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. If you're not already a Nintendo fan, I would minus a thumb and give it a 6. As for Zelda itself, I mean, if you happen to have a Wii U lying around, or one of the lucky few that got their hands on a Switch, I mean, if you got a Switch, then I can guarantee you probably already have this game, because in this YouTuber's humble opinion, it is really the only game worth playing on the Switch right now. But hey, if you happen to have a Wii U lying around, it's totally worth the money. I would recommend that you go and pick it up. At least for the holiday season, it would be a great stocking stuffer if nothing else. Chic Slate, let me check my handy dandy quest tracker. Fantastic. Right on, so I'm gonna go play with my new Magnet of Fun. You guys have a great night, and remember, don't do anything I would do.